All right, to help us with some of the problems that we are going to be doing in the future, we are going to practice some substitution problems. So substitution problems we are going to be solving to find out the value of x and y. So when you are solving these problems, you should have done these last year. Your first step is to isolate one of the variables in an equation. So it doesn't matter which variable, but there's usually one that's pretty easy to do. So in this example, we already have y by itself, so we don't have to do anything. Then for step 2, we are going to substitute into the second equation. So what that means is we know y is equal to 6x minus 11. So we're going to take that and we are going to plug that in for y in our second equation. So we're going to have negative 2x minus 3 times 6x minus 11, because we know that's what y is equal to. Then once you're there, you are going to finish the problem by solving for the variable. So in this one, we're going to distribute this negative 3 to get negative 18x, and negative 3 times negative 11 to get positive 33. Then we can combine any like terms that are on the same side of the equation. So we would have negative 20x plus 33 equals negative 7. Subtract 33. And we'll get negative 20x equals negative 40. Then we'll divide, and we will get x equals 2. Now that was just us solving. Then the fourth step, you are going to find the other variable value, or the second variable. So now that we know x equals 2, we are going to take that and we're going to plug it back into our first equation to figure out what y equals. So we're going to have y equals 6 times 2 minus 11. And that's going to tell us that y equals 1. And that's our answer. So for these problems, I would like you to do number 2 and 3. And then we're going to skip ahead and look at number 7 together. For number 7, you'll notice neither of our equations have a variable by itself. So we are going to choose one of the equations, doesn't matter which, and you're going to get the variable alone. I'm going to choose the first one because that's going to be the easiest. So we have negative 4x plus y equals 6. I'm going to get y by itself because that variable doesn't have a number in front of it, so it's going to be easier to do that. To do that, I'm going to add 4x to both sides of my equation, and I'm going to be left with y equals 6 plus 4x. Now that I have that, I can plug this in to my other equation. So I know this is what y is equal to, so I'm going to plug that in there. We have negative 5x minus, and don't forget to put it in parentheses when you are substituting in so you don't lose any negatives. Now we can distribute, and this negative up front is the same as having negative 1. When we distribute that, we'll get negative 6 minus 4x equals 21. And before I do anything to both sides of the equation, I'm going to combine any like terms I have. In this one, we have negative 5x minus 4x, which will give us a total of negative 9x. Then solving for x, add 6 to both sides. Divide by -9. And we will get x equals -3. Once we have that, we're going to plug that back into our equation that we've isolated the first variable in. And we're going to get y equals 6 plus 4 times -3. And if you type that into a calculator, you are going to get y equals -6. So then I would like you to try number 8 and number 10. So a total, you're going to just have 4 problems to do. You're going to do 2, 3, 8, and 10 for tomorrow. If you have any more questions,